Real estate exam prep. Let's get started. Sales associate Susan is working with a customer buyer. Susan and her buyer discussed agency representation at the first meaningful contact. However, the buyer decided not to commit to Susan yet and opted to work with Susan as a customer. According to Georgia's Brokerage Relationships in Real Estate Transactions Act, BRETA, Susan and her customer will need to sign a buyer agency agreement when: Is it A, Susan locates home inspectors for the buyer? Or B, Susan provides pre-printed real estate form contracts? Could it be C, Susan advises the buyer on an offer price and terms? Or lastly D, Susan identifies properties for sale, lease, or exchange? The correct answer is C. Here is why. Under Georgia BRETA, a licensee working with a buyer as a customer, no agency relationship, must enter into a written buyer agency agreement before performing certain ministerial acts that cross into the realm of advising or advocating. Providing pre-printed forms, B, is generally considered a ministerial act. Locating home inspectors, A, and identifying properties, D, are also ministerial acts permitted for a customer. However, advising a buyer on an offer price and terms, C, constitutes real estate advice and is a core duty of an agent, not a ministerial act. Therefore, a written agency agreement is required before Susan provides such advice. Next question. Seller Roy has sold plenty of homes in the past. His last experience with an agent was unsatisfactory, so he decides to market his home on his own. He places advertisements with all the brokers in town and offers a commission to any broker that brings him a buyer. This is an example of: Is it A, an open listing? Or B, an exclusive open listing? Could it be C, an exclusive agency? Or lastly D, an exclusive right to sell? The correct answer is A. Here is why. An open listing, A, is a non-exclusive listing where the seller can list with multiple brokers and is only obligated to pay a commission to the broker who successfully produces a ready, willing, and able buyer. This fits Roy's actions of offering a commission to any broker that brings a buyer. An exclusive agency, C, gives one broker the exclusive right to sell, but the seller reserves the right to sell the property themselves without paying a commission. An exclusive right to sell, D, gives one broker the exclusive right to sell and guarantees them a commission regardless of who sells the property. Exclusive open listing, B, is not a standard industry term. Next question. Liam and Joseph enter into a contract for the purchase of Liam's home. As the seller, Liam agrees to repair the roof before closing. As the buyer, Joseph agrees to get full approval from the lender within a 2-week period. The closing date is set for the following month. This agreement is: Is it A, an executory contract? Or B, an executed contract? Could it be C, a unilateral contract? Or lastly D, a voidable contract? The correct answer is A. Here is why. An executory contract, A, is one in which one or more parties have not yet fully performed their obligations. In this scenario, both parties have outstanding duties. Liam must repair the roof, and Joseph must secure financing. The contract will be fully executed only after closing when all terms are fulfilled. An executed contract, B, is one where all parties have fully performed. A unilateral contract, C, involves a promise in exchange for a performance, e.g., a reward offer, which is not the case here as both parties have mutual promises. A voidable contract, D, is one that can be affirmed or rejected by one party, e.g., a contract with a minor, which is not indicated by the facts. Next question. Marie wants to gift her family home to her grandson. The deed states that the property is given for love and affection. What is this referred to as? Is it A, earnest money? Or B, valuable consideration? Could it be C, specific performance? Or lastly D, good consideration? The correct answer is D. Here is why. Good consideration, D, is a term for consideration that is valid in the eyes of the law to support a deed or contract, but is not necessarily a monetary or material benefit. It often involves love, affection, or a moral obligation, such as a gift to a family member. Valuable consideration, V, involves something of monetary value, money, property, services. Earnest money, A, is a deposit in a sales contract. Specific performance, C, is a legal remedy forcing a party to complete a contract. Next question. A seller receives an offer for their home for $300,000. The seller counteroffers with a price of $310,000. If the counteroffer is accepted, the parties have _________ to the terms of the sale. Is it A, partial consent? Or B, mutual consent? Could it be C, lack of consent? Or lastly, D, interim consent? The correct answer is B. Here is why. Mutual consent, B, or mutual assent, is a fundamental element of a valid contract. It is achieved through the process of offer and acceptance. The buyer's offer at $300,000 was rejected by the seller's counteroffer of $310,000. If the buyer accepts that counteroffer, a meeting of the minds or mutual consent is reached on the new price. Partial consent, A, lack of consent, C, and interim consent, D, are not valid legal terms describing the formation of a contract. Next question. In Georgia, real estate contracts must have all of the following elements to be deemed a valid contract except: is it A, mutual consent? Or B, lawful purpose? Could it be C, consideration? Or lastly, D, liquidated damages? The correct answer is D. Here is why. The essential elements of a valid contract are offer and acceptance, mutual consent, competent parties, consideration, lawful purpose, and for real estate contracts, a writing to satisfy the statute of frauds. Liquidated damages, D, is not a required element. It is a specific clause that can be included in a contract to specify a predetermined amount of damages in case of breach, but its absence does not invalidate the contract. A, B, and C are all required elements. That's it for today. How many did you score? Let me know in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and tell me what topic I should cover next. Bye.